Italy. And down there in the toe of Italy, Calabria. The three main regional towns are Reggio di Calabria, Catenzaro and Cosenza. Notice the yellow motorway which runs right from the top right down to the bottom at Reggio. It is the southern tip of the Autostrada del Sol. Notice also Messina on the northern tip of Sicily. For the first few days we'll be based at Lamezia Terme, which has good rail communications with the three main regional towns and other places. We've come first to Catenzaro. Now, when I said there good rail communications, etc., what I meant was the railway will deposit you somewhere in the vicinity. Like here at Catenzaro, you get out of the railway station and then do a quarter of a mile climb up a 1 in 4 hill, but then you can get a local bus to complete the last mile and a half uphill to the city centre. We found a similar situation in most of the other places we visited in Calabria, and it would have been useful to know this before going there. Not that it would have made a lot of difference. The only large town that did have a railway station right in the centre, Cosenza, had actually closed it down, knocked it down, sold the 5 miles of track leading to it to developers, and you had to get off the train 5 miles out of town and catch a local bus. Anyway, you may have noticed that there are like statues in churches round here, and usually of the clothed variety made to look real. I think we had painted statues in the Middle Ages. I don't know about clothed ones. Anyway, we looked at that church, and we're now going to look at the cathedral, the Duomo. And again, we'll probably see 1 or 2 statues. In the local bus on the way up to Catenzaro, I engaged in an animated conversation with the locals, told them what I wanted to see, and they told me where to get off. This is often, off the bus that is, this is often a mistake, because they usually tell you to get off at a stop that you can't remember, and it's never the terminus. So my next problem after seeing Catenzaro is to find out where the bus to the station goes from and see if I can get on it. Catenzaro is located fairly well up into that range of mountains which runs down the spine of Calabria, very much like the Pennines run down northern England, but the mountains extend much further towards the coast than they do in northern England. This is the square from which we'll catch the bus back to the railway station, and you'll be able to get an idea with all these bridges on stilts how mountainous it is round here. The coastal plains east and west are a lot narrower than northern England, and there are those bridges. The railway running up and down the east and west coast doesn't run on the coastal plain, it seems to run halfway up the mountains, so wherever you're going you've either got a 3-mile walk uphill or a 3-mile walk downhill. When I was at school they always used to tell us that Great Britain was great because we were a mongrel nation, having Saxons, Jutes and Normans and everybody. Well, this part of the world was visited and taken over by everybody from the Mediterranean who had a boat. Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Saracens, then the Turks. But then in the 11th century the Normans arrived and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Now I found the railway station and we're back on the train to Lamezia and past what I can only describe as a shanty town, the only one I've ever seen in Europe. But anyway, perhaps that's a secret.